I've had Democrat friends. I've worked with liberals my whole life. I've done a bunch of bipartisan stuff here, not bad people. But the modern Democratic Party does not care about working Americans. The only thing they care about is the agenda of a bunch of laptop liberals and Marxist misfits who threaten to burn down any city anytime they don't get their way on some issue, and a bunch of climate extremists. And that's what this bill reflects, at least two of those three. And that's what this bill does. That's the only people they cater to. That's what their issues are always about. And what they do is they put on the disguise of calling it the Inflation Reduction Act, but they can't even say it with a straight face. There isn't a single thing in this bill that helps working people lower the price of groceries, or the price of gasoline, or the price of housing, or the price of clothes. There isn't a single thing in this bill that's going to keep criminals in jail. There isn't a single thing in this bill that's going to secure our border. And those happen to be the things that working people in this country care about. And the gap between the people who run this place and the people who are the backbone of this country is so massive, the disconnect so great, that the divisions it's driving in our politics are reaching a boiling point, unfortunately. What makes this nation different from all the countries in the world is our working class. Every nation has rich people. Every country in the world has wealthy people. What's made us different is that here, by the millions, people like my parents, a bartender and a maid, were able to own a home and raise a family and leave them better off than themselves. And they were never rich and they were never famous, and they lived the American dream because they retired with dignity. And with their own eyes, they saw their children have the opportunity to do the things they themselves never could do. That's what makes us different. Those are the people that are hurting. Those are the people that got wiped out in 2007 and 2008 when Wall Street created a crisis and Wall Street got bailed out. Those are the people whose kids couldn't go to school because in some parts of this country, we shut school down for a year and a half. While the people shutting down the schools, their kids were going to private schools and had private tutors. And those are the people that are getting destroyed right now by this economy. And they're being ignored and disrespected and completely obliterated by a bill that does absolutely nothing for them.
This time the bill is called the Inflation Reduction Act. They say it's designed to be able to lower inflation and to reduce the deficit, except now it's actually been scored and it doesn't actually reduce inflation, and deficit reduction is as invisible as the emperor's new clothes. The score for inflation stated in the public scoring, here's the quote from it: "The impact on inflation is statistically indistinguishable from zero." The CBO scored the bill and said it would have a negligible effect on inflation. Remember, this is the bill titled the Inflation Reduction Act. The score on deficit, on the deficit end, after many on the other side of the aisle here have said it would have $300 billion in deficit reduction, is less than $1 billion. But wait, there's more to the story on even that $100 billion. More than 200 economists wrote a letter to Senator Schumer detailing how this bill will not reduce inflation nor reduce the deficit. Taxing more and spending more will only make the problem worse. They closed by saying this statement: "The bill deficit reduction is likely to prove illusionary due to implausible spending phase-outs. In summary, we agree with the urgent need to reduce inflation, but the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 is a misleading label applied to a bill that would likely achieve the exact opposite effect."